up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I got something new for you, kind of outside my normal realm of videos, and that thing is the FMS PA18 Super Cub, the 1300mm version. Now those of you that have been following me for a while know that my first love in the RC world was actually RC planes. I grew up doing that, I've been doing it for a long time, but I haven't touched a line of sight plane with landing gear in a long time, probably 3-4 years at this point. Now this specific plane, the FMS Super Cub, there have been rave reviews about this thing and they've been impossible to get for the past year or so. I was finally able to get my hands on one, even though I had to order it from AliExpress. So it's not ideal, but the plane did actually come and they haven't charged my card for more than the order's worth. So the plan today is to take this bad boy for its maiden flight. And I'm kind of nervous. Every time I do this, you never know what's going to happen because planes are very sensitive to center of gravity. And everything that I've heard is this one is very stable and it flies very well, but you never know. And it's always nerve-wracking. Airplanes are very different from drones. For those of you that don't know, with the drone, there's no gliding to worry about, there's no airspeed to worry about. If you get in trouble, you just punch out with the throttle. It's easy. But with an airplane, you gotta be on top of shit. Keep your airspeed in mind at all times. That's like rule number one of airplanes. And the second thing that makes airplanes kind of sketchy is that if you crash them, most likely something's gonna get broken. It's not like a quad where you can just full send it into a tree and it's probably fine, minus a broken prop. A lot of these planes are made of foam, and foam is not the most durable thing. Now I'm gonna do just a brief overview of the setup for today here and what this plane kind of comes with. I'm not doing like a full review video, there's already plenty of those out there. I got my good old FR Sky Tyrannus X9D. I got an Express LRS module on the back, running Express LRS, I think 3.3.1. And it's on the Beta FPV Micro TX module. These are my old 3S packs from like 4 years ago. I haven't even touched these things in years, but I did store them at the correct voltage and they did charge up fine and they did seem to hold the right capacity. So I guess we'll see if there's like excessive voltage sag. And of course the main star of the show today is this Super Cub here. God, this thing is just beautiful looking. The detail is just incredible. They even got these little vortex generators on the top of the wing that's supposed to improve like low airspeed handling. So we'll see if that makes much of a difference. I guess I won't really be able to tell. As far as the electronics in here, we got the Reflex, I think it's the Reflex V2 by FMS. This comes stock in the plane. And for the receiver, of course, I have an Express LRS ER8 8-channel receiver. So I got all the stuff hooked up in there. I got the telemetry set up, hooked into the red wire on the battery there, so I should be able to get pack voltage. Now besides that, the really cool feature of this plane is actually these tires. They're pneumatic tires, which is a really unique, kind of not seen very often thing in the RC world. Usually they're foam, but these are actually like a foam rubber almost, and they're actually filled with air. It comes with a little pump to pump it up too. And under here, you can see this beefy ass landing gear. This is what I'm most excited about. This should allow me to just absolutely plant this thing like pretty much anywhere. It's a stiff, strong suspension with these big squishy tires. I am super excited to get this in the air. You know, maidening airplanes is just the worst thing in the world. Like, it's so stressful for the reasons I mentioned earlier. Like, if you hit anything, you're probably gonna break something. Oh, now it's rolling back. Oh, all right, well, we did a balance check, we did a controls check, we did a range check. Everything should be good. I guess let's go ahead and send it, right? Oh, God, I'm nervous. Let's do this. It's off. And it's tail heavy. Lovely. See, this is this is what I'm always worried about. Yeah, she's definitely tail heavy though, for sure. It's at least doable though. Let's bring it down. And I need to move the battery forward. I don't even know if you guys can see this right now. Bring it down. Ah! Alright. Well, that actually didn't go too bad. I've had much worse. So we got it down safely, which means it's a successful maiden flight. That was a terrible landing. I kind of just lost depth perception there for a little bit. But that's okay, it's in one piece. I mentioned it's tail heavy. So what we need to do is move this battery forward. So where the airplane balances will be closer to the leading edge of the wing as opposed to the back. Right now it's a little bit too far back, and you can even see the tail dropping in those turns probably. That's not good, especially for a plane like this, and especially because it's been a minute since I flew. I'm actually just happy I got it down, to be honest. Okay, we have a new battery in here. Do our little controls check, make sure flaps still work, and take it off. Oh my, that was fucking ugly. For a bush plane, it needs more power or less weight, one of the two. But I think just by changing the prop, it would really improve this performance, because that takeoff was terrible. But I thought I had more thrust than that. If I would have known I barely get off, I would have jammed it right away. Let's see if we can get a little bit better landing this time. Nope, don't do that. Can I get out of this, I wonder? That's sketchy. Now, see, with more power, I could just take off right there. Ah. Damn it. Come on, bud. There you go. Welcome back. Mwah. You're beautiful. You are so beautiful. And I am not doing you justice. This is definitely not a beginner plane, I wouldn't say, especially since they give you a CG range, and I picked right in the middle of that, and it balanced exactly there, and it was hella tail heavy. And yes, I was flying in manual, but even when I flew in the gyro stabilized mode, it was still pretty squirrely. The tail was dropping out, and it stalled pretty sketchy. So just be aware of that if you are getting this plane and you're maybe a little bit less experienced. And the other issues, which I have mentioned multiple times already in this video, I think number one is the prop. The prop is not enough, plain and simple. I think the stock one on the plane out of the box is like 11x7. I think what this plane really needs is probably like a 12x6 or a 12x7. It just needs more bite at low end. It needs more power readily available so you can fly off the top of a bouncy landing or get yourself out of trouble faster. So besides that, I think it is a little bit weird that they do recommend a 3-cell 2200 milliamp hour battery, which is kind of the standard for a lot of these foam planes around this size. I had to slide that battery all the way forward up against the firewall before it balanced at a sufficient point where it didn't feel like the tail's dropping out. I think that's too much. If you're gonna make a plane and you recommend a battery, in my opinion, that plane should balance with the battery right in the center using both of the Velcro straps. I wasn't even using the second one. The battery rested about halfway between the two. So I think that's a little goofy. I think maybe they could have lightened up the tail a little bit more. There are some plastic pieces back there. I understand there's limitations. I understand they're trying to make it strong, so it's not terrible. There's definitely worse out there. With that being said, if you are a beginner and you're looking to get into RC planes, not even bush flying, just RC planes in general, first of all, why are you watching my channel? I am definitely not the airplane guy. Nah, just kidding. I love to have you guys. So thank you for tuning in. If that is you, I do really appreciate you watching me, whether it's drones or airplanes or anything in between. Thank you. And just some more closing thoughts before I wrap this one up tonight. The gear on this plane is incredible. I had shitty landing after shitty landing, and it's fine. You know, usually there'd be some scuffs or something like that, or some dents or dings, and there's really nothing that I can see. So excellent job designing this plane, FMS. The thing looks absolutely bulletproof and rock solid. And I'd also like to point out the lights, the red and the green and that white light on the left wing. Those were actually really nice for this sunset time, a little bit darker environment type of flying. I really had no trouble at all seeing the plane because of that white light on the left wing. And I always knew exactly which way it was heading and kind of where it was in space because it was on the left wing. So that's a really nice touch. I didn't know how I'd feel about those because, you know, they are extra weight, and I was questioning, like, were they really necessary? And I would say definitely yes. And with that said, I'm gonna wrap this one up tonight. Thank you guys so much for following along. I know I'm mostly a drone channel, but I like to do other stuff too. Airplanes were my first love, and it's so fun to get back into this. I really did miss them. So look forward to more content with this plane in the future. I'm actually meeting a couple buddies tomorrow. We're gonna go into the forest, fly the plane around, maybe fly some drones, get some cool shots, might even make a video, we'll see. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you drop me a like down below. Feel free to leave me a comment, and please hit that subscribe button if you haven't. I've noticed that like 90% of you that are watching my videos aren't actually subscribed. Come on, you guys, it costs you nothing. It really helps me out, and it helps beginners get into the hobby with less pain, and that is what I'm all about. So hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Keep ripping, keep wrecking, and keep learning. See you on the next one.